So I guess the best thing that we can just do is give you guys the best games, and we're gonna try and continue doing that as we start into our first game of this set here. It's going to be Puppypaw versus DeMu, China versus French.
And here we go, we're spawning in, we're checking out Puppypaw's main base. He's doing the typical opening as you expect, double back wood lines, and a lot of his other resources are nice and far out in front of him. Usually it's gonna be a lot about where your secondary food resources are as China, as well as that's kind of their mid-game weakness.
Oh my god, look at how far these food sources are away from these from the Chinese player here in this one. So Puppypaw, his first tier is very far forward, his second tier even further away, and both of his gold spawns are very far forward on this map. This is a really, really bad spot for China to be playing this in, and man, looking at the spawns here, I mean, if DeMu can make something happen here, he will be feeling very, very comfortable when he has to look at the way Puppypaw's map has spawned so far.
And meanwhile, DeMu, he's got a back gold, another back gold, and another back gold, as well as a back berries. He's got his deer kind of over on the side, but his woodlands are forward, so a lot, like, easily wallable. Puppypaw has a wide open front of his base. His woodlines are behind to kind of protect up the behind side, but like DeMu is really going to have the leg up and whole body up as far as I think this map spawn goes.
Exactly. I mean, Puppypaw, he's getting more sheep in now. I think overall he's found like 8 sheep so far. So this is like the normal standard amount that you get with China. Sometimes more if you're really lucky, like Marinelord was in the previous sets. And I mean, at this point, Puppypaw knows the way his map spawned. He knows that he's gonna have to do something crazy here if he wants to like get access to resources.
Oh. And, I mean, that's just one of these where we're going to see this game start to extend a little bit, and we will definitely start to see vulnerable villagers moving out, and French is definitely prone to punish those vulnerable villagers.
Look at this, 5 villagers on that school of cavalry. DeMu is not messing around. He wants to put the pressure on Puppypaw right from the get-go. Aging up with so many villagers mean that this is going to be a sub 4-minute age up for him. And he's going to be having a night out on the side of Puppypaw really, really early on. That means that Puppypaw, if he doesn't start with this Barbican of the Sun, he will be in trouble. But it is the Barbican of the Sun from him that he's opening up with. So should be fine. Only a single villager on it, though. This timing could actually be a little bit tough for him. This Barbican is going to finish by like minute 4:30. And potentially the knight from the School of Cavalry could be here by minute 4:20. So it's going to be a really, really rough timing here, potentially.
Yeah, I think, though, what I wouldn't be too surprised with the Puppypaw would be kind of circling back around with his scout. And, oh, DeMu, why do you do this to him? Why do you do this to him? Pushing the deer out and so far out already away from that Barbican. And if a Vil wants to go to try to take that deer, I don't know if that's even in range of the Barbican.
Yeah, and DeMu just doing his hardest here in order to deny these deer, and he's getting really, really solid hits here. These deer are all really far away from the Barbican, so not only is it going to be really annoying to like drop mills there on these deer, but it also means that it's going to be far away from the Barbican. And now DeMu behind us, he's going for his own second TC, so he's not going to be playing this too aggressively, so it's probably going to stay with that one first knight coming out.
Yeah, very similar build to what we saw from Vortex, going in with that quicker knight and then immediately secondary TC behind it. Looks like DeMu might get wheelbarrow or might just be saving up his gold for another upgrade of the sort.
Yeah, I could potentially be looking into that. Now, DeMu, he didn't have enough food immediately, I think, to produce this knight, so it's a little bit delayed here. Barbican does go up for Puppypaw. And looks like Puppypaw is macroing towards the second TC of his own, as he's already on wood, but could also just be a normal barracks. We do see some walls coming out from him in order to keep the backside of his base safe, but Scout is going to be able to block this, but there are 3 sheep here, and Puppypaw is just going to drop off another layer.
And now you just cancel this layer and finish your other wall. Or you wall in the Scout if you want to.
Oh, he gets it! Oh, and the knight is in!
Oh, why'd he do that? He did it the wrong way! I think he clicked it and he did it the wrong way. He meant to cancel the other wall.
The charge from the knight, however, did get cancelled, so it's not going to be any two-shotting anytime soon. Villager could get caught out here, though, but there is a village that he can jump inside. No two-shotting happening right now as the charge has been cancelled, but this is dangerous right now. It means that this entire backside for Puppypaw is now under pressure, and I mean, he's keeping the scout there just in order to brace for any charges happening. And that means that it's going to be tough for DeMu to get any like two-shot villager kills in there. Yeah, the scout is just teetering around there. DeMu getting really close to placing a second TC. Meanwhile, Puppypaw hasn't even been able to gather up any stone, and his wood count right now is also really low. This is looking rough right now for him. Charge getting used on the scout.
Yeah, I feel like he really just was maybe not wanting to drop the barracks, dropping in some walls to protect himself, but forced on the barracks ultimately, has at least a spear or so coming out, finally hits that Song Dynasty point, but the first knight still alive and healthy, circling around the map, waiting for a vulnerable villager just stepping out to a location that he shouldn't be.
Yeah, more spearmen now coming out here from Puppypaw, so he's looking to get control probably of that stone mine, then probably looking for his own secondary TC. Second TC from DeMu just about coming in now. Weebro also on its way. He's grabbing economy upgrades, so everything is looking good for him. He already has double broadex coming in for Puppypaw right now as well. And no movement out yet so far from Puppypaw onto the stone. He does have enough wood in the bank for that second TC, so I think we're going to be seeing a play relatively similar to what Marinelord did in his game versus Vortex, where he first gathered up all the wood and then sends a lot of villagers with the spearmen onto the stone mine in order to get the stone for a second TC.
Yeah, DeMu's still heavy on the stone over there, though. So, might just end up being a 3TC French play versus the 2TC Song play of the Chinese, which you can't forget these French TCs. They're working harder than other TCs typically, but not harder than a Song.
Yeah, it's not by a lot in theory. A village, a TC from the French in the feudal age produce a villager every 17 seconds. Now Chinese TCs with Song Dynasty produce a villager every 15 seconds. So the difference isn't too big there. Still, overall, the Chinese player is going to be pulling ahead overall in the long term. But if there's any civilization that can somewhat keep up here, it's going to be the French. I'm not sure. I think it's a little bit too greedy here. Might actually lose the scout there. He does get a villager kill, though. First villager of the game will go down here.
Yeah, first Vil goes down. One of those spears appeared out of nowhere as it was blending in with the villagers mining stone, but Puppypaw has secured that secondary TC. He's placing it on that initial deer pack that he pressed around on his barbican.
Yeah, and the third TC looks to be coming in here now for DeMu, but only 5 villagers. Okay, no, more villagers are going to be pulled, but Puppypaw, he already has a spearman there. This could possibly get denied here, but then again, with so many villagers, this amount of villagers can definitely take a fight against the spearmen. Look at that Puppypaw. He's been annoying here as well. He's been killing, or rather spreading out the deer by quite a bit. So he's trying to do the same thing to DeMu that DeMu did to him earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And the TC is definitely going to go up, but these spears will just cause a constant annoyance here. Just delaying it a little bit, having the timing pay off a little bit less. And again, whoa, more spears coming up to pressure this, and might actually get to see some Vils getting taken down on the side of DeMu.
He does have wheelbarrows, so in theory should be able to run away from the spearman. One villager did go down, but now TC is up and Scout will get taken down. All villagers stop moving. Will get taken down as well, and 2 villagers. Yeah, 2 villagers have gone down so far now on the side of DeMu, but he did secure another food source here. And the question is, what is he going for now? Is it just going to be a Castle Age play behind this? Because it certainly looks like Puppypaw is looking for Castle Age here soon.
Yeah, I mean, if you're French and just matching Chinese and Castle, that doesn't really feel the greatest, especially when, yeah, I mean, you are 3 TCs, which is nice, but 2 TC Song is still, you know, somewhat working. You will continually build this Vil lead over time, but time is something you may not have.
Yeah, exactly, and even more spearmen coming out for Puppypaw. Now the archer ranges are coming in for DeMu, but a little bit late, and the spearman mass is really, really high right now for Puppypaw. It's going to be hard to take control over these external food sources now from Puppypaw, as he's even getting up 2 outposts here on that. It's going to be really tough for DeMu to compete against that.
Yeah, we were talking about this food source being so far away, but I mean, it doesn't matter how far away it is. If you can be able to secure it up with a couple outposts, it will deter raids for the long term.
Yeah. And now even more archers getting massed by DeMu, as he's going to need, and he will have the archer mass now to start pushing out soon. The question is, where is he going to be pushing out? I mean, the first deer spot is going to be defended by a TC and a Barbican. Now there's going to be 2 outposts on the boar and the deer. And sure, if he has a lot of archers, that's going to be nice for him, but these archers aren't going to be able to siege down the outposts.
Yeah, I felt like Puppypaw wanted to go to Castle Age, and then he just kept producing spearmen and still producing spearmen and more spearmen and walling up. So he has the gold, but not the food in the bank to go up.
Another mill coming in as well. Lots of food coming in for Puppypaw. Yeah, DeMu is going to be able to 8-shot quite soon. He's getting chivalry now, which doesn't make too much sense to get it before you age up. You don't even have a weak knight at the moment, or too many knights where it kind of comes into play. Maybe a little bit of a mismacro there, but then again, he was still lacking food there, so it is working. He is going to be able to click up soon here, and he's still going to be on a timer overall. Like, the timer isn't on Puppypaw right now. It is definitely on DeMu. He does have the villager lead, and he is going to be pulling ahead with villagers, especially once he ages up to Castle Age. It does mean that his villagers aren't going to be taking 17 seconds. They're only taking 16 seconds. And then it starts getting really close to Song Dynasty. But Clock Tower also coming out for Puppypaw. So these age-up times are going to be very, very similar now. Puppypaw having 20 spearmen right now. What the hell?
Yeah, and he can really go take some map control with it. There are enough archers to one-shot a spear, but Puppy might just be able to secure up a couple relics. You can already see how proactive he's been with these walls so far, and the age up happens much faster for him due to this Chinese bonus, and can really get these upgrades through faster with supervision as well.
Considering that DeMu went for 30C, I don't think the age-up timing here is really terrible for him. Now Puppypaw also investing into a lot of knights, so it's going to be knights and spearmen against knights and archers, and I mean, you don't want to be the player with knights and archers in that situation. I think DeMu really has to do something here soon to his composition. He does have a scout out on the map, and he is trying to actively scout what's going on Puppypaw's side, but it's really tough to scout this because all of the walls that are coming in right now.
Yeah, and you can tell that DeMu is wanting that keep to get all his production costs in a little bit less. He's trying to circle around, find a spot he can get some vision, get some information. The spear's perfectly tracking this down. That one single knight, though, taking the brace, and a perfect gap close by Puppypaw to take down that forward knight on the side of DeMu.
Those spearmen absolutely swarmed that night, and now Puppypaw is even investing into Nest of Bees, and still looking at the composition from DeMu. A couple of archers that he's about to upgrade to veterancy. Now sure, the archers are going to be doing very well against the spearmen, but there's already knights out for Puppypaw, and those are really going to mop the floor with the archers.
Yeah, just back on away. A couple spearmen will go down, so solid job for DeMu, but archers are not in a positioning point that they should be, as the 3 knights that are out on Puppypaw's side should be able to just close the gap and kill the rest of these.
Looks like the knights from Puppypaw are making their way into the economy from DeMu. Are only going to be attacking a mill, so now DeMu should be aware of this. Only has a couple of villagers out on the gold mine over there. It's a little bit spread out, so should be able to pull them away in time, potentially. Are gonna get pulled. One at least should be going down.
Yeah, but the problem is DeMu has a lot of other resources behind that. As I was talking about it at the start of the game, back gold, back gold, back gold, and berries. He is on all of it, so has to pull away from some as his reinforcements go on over there.
Yeah, now has to send more units back to deal with these 2 knights. A lot of delay coming in here. Not on too many villagers, and overall he is 7 villagers ahead right now. He is going to be the first player to start gathering up some of the relics. Puppypaw also making some monks of his own right now. And looks like DeMu is going to try and push in past this gate, but at the same time, Puppypaw, he is looking really solid with map control. Has a knight there guarding that single relic over there. And I mean, the forward force from DeMu probably isn't going to be achieving a lot here.
Yeah, it actually just pulls back on away. I guess he makes a second thought about it as the monks he's pushing out with are starting to get taken down. So Puppypaw knows that DeMu is going for those relics, Puppypaw kind of probably already knew that as he saw one disappear off the map because DeMu's already secured one. And oh, the keep gets spotted out on the sacred site. Villagers have to back on away, and this is so detrimental for DeMu.
Yeah, this was a crucial timing here for DeMu. He pulled a lot of villagers for that. That keep getting denied is a lot of delay, and now the prelate, or rather the monk, is also going to get sniped here. He's moving his units in position in order to deal with that, but his army mass just right now, it's not going to be able to deal with what Puppypaw has out on the field. Way less knights, too few archers, and behind this, there's going to be palace guards coming in.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just the perfect plan by Puppypaw. DeMu was able to get no information, massing up the wrong unit composition and taking a losing fight here just a little out of position and forced to take the fight now due to the knight mobility.
Yeah, is going to be retreating towards his own keep at home, and he is going to be making arbitrary now. That's going to be the right unit in order to deal with this. Currently, there's not a whole lot that Puppypaw can do against arbitrary. He does have Nest of Bees, but overall, arbitrary, if you spread them out correctly and you micro them, they can take a lot of Nest of Bees shots without going down, and behind this, relics are going to get taken by Puppypaw. 2 relics right now on their way for him, and potentially, I mean, looking at the way the last relics are located, looks like it's going to be a 4-1 game when it comes to relics.
Yeah, and not only that, the food is starting to run out for either of these players. You just saw Puppypaw already starting his granary transition. Well, that's where China going to be much stronger than the French over here and starting to pressure down that third TC that was dropped. French also running low on those secondary food resources. Not sure where else he has to go other than that last boar and berries.
And here you go, Puppypaw is just going to be able to siege down that TC without any siege. Just the torches alone are going to be sufficient. Keep is going to be dropped here now from DeMu in order to secure his map control, but overall, he just lost a lot of value with that third TC going down. And now he's actually behind in villagers, as it looks like there were raids happening in his base at the same time. Knights running into the villagers on the keep.
Lost the Vills on the gold, and Nest of Bees firing down on the keep Vills. DeMu not paying attention yet. If it gets another fire down, this could just be game. Oh. Still, during all this fight, Puppypaw excelling in the military numbers. Nest of Bees will have to fall on back, but DeMu took so much damage through all this, and reinforcements are still here. Nest of Bees not even going to fall through this.
Body blocking the knights, so they're not able to close onto the Nest of Bees, and the arbitrary, they're just not able to do too much damage here. And DeMu, he taps out. He knows that at this point, losing the fight, he is no match for the Chinese powerhouse in the late game.
Yeah, Puppypaw just showing the mastery there. French is the one that should be the aggressor. French is the one that should be the one picking up all those Vil kills. But as we see the graph, Puppypaw, I don't even think lost a villager that whole game.
Yeah, I don't think he lost one either. I think maybe there was one kill at some point with the early knights from DeMu, but overall it just looked really, really solid. There's this one slight dip there towards the 7-minute mark, yeah. But overall, only DeMu was the one here really losing villagers, and I think this just comes down to that 3TC play being a little bit too greedy here against China. I don't think you can go for more than 2 TCs. It just costs so much food to have uptime on your villagers. Age-up was really, really close then between these two players without Puppypaw needing to invest into that third TC. And wow, this is just really, really tough now for DeMu. He's 1 game behind now, and this means that Puppypaw is going to be the player here on match point in the set.
Yeah, just showing us a mastery lesson on Chinese for game number 1 there. Just excelling in the gameplay. And now in game number 2, it's going to be regions, and it's English versus HRE.
All right, now this is a matchup that DeMu can definitely play well here, especially in a map like Regions. If he gets map control in the middle of the map, this is going to be looking really, really good for him. He just needs to survive the early game. I'm not sure, I personally don't think that this is going to necessarily be a game where he needs to go for a second TC. Personally, I think he can just play this 1 TC into Castle Age and then maybe later on go for additional TCs. But overall, I think just playing that one TC and trying to get map control in the middle is going to be more important in this game.
Yeah, 100% agree. This is one of the maps that if you give up the map control and you're a little too greedy with your economy, it can just cost you the game, as you will be lacking the gold, lacking the vital resources that you need. We're getting a couple more updates on the standings, and looks like we see that Beastie got a nice old 2-0 on I Am Magic. Recon was able to tie it up against Louis MT, so it's 1-1 over there. And other than that, I think we saw the majority of these. But as you can kind of see, as we're wrapping up some of these updates, we'll probably circle in with the standings here for you as well.
No, maybe.
I could be wrong.
There we go.
There we go. And now we see BC up at the top. He was able to get a couple of dubs today, whereas Marine Lord, we just covered that series where he got taken down for the first time.
Yeah, but Marine Lord, he still has to play one more series today, I believe. So actually, I think it's 2 series that he still has to play. So right now, BC sitting on 11. We're going to be seeing Beastie versus Marine Lord later today. So that's going to be kind of like the decider game between these two, or rather deciding set between these two players on who is going to be the one player that's going to be resting on spot number 1. Both these players right now sitting comfortably on seat number 1 and seat number 2. But Lucifron kind of hot in pursuit here. Looking at how many maps he's dropped, only 3 maps so far. Could potentially overtake both of them.
And Puppypaw fighting for his spot to secure himself a little bit higher in this top 8 positioning here, playing against DeMu. And now we're going into this second game here, initiating that overlay. And as we said, English HRE, and we'll see some of these spawns.
And here we go. Game number 2 in the set, Puppypaw versus DeMu. We see Puppypaw opening up with a BS strategy, going out here on the deer very, very early on in this game, luring them with his scout onto the mill. Really, really nice opening here from him. And on the opposite side, we do see DeMu as the HRE. The map that we're playing on here is going to be Regions. So Regions is one of the special maps that we're seeing here that are exclusive for the Elite Classic tournament, or was specifically made for the Elite Classic. And we can see that this map is really, really special. So there's not a ton of gold on this map, or at least not safely for the players. There is 24,000 gold right in the middle there. So that's going to be a big, big spot for these players to contest when it comes to the middle of the game. In the corners, we do have 2 sacred sites, and both these sacred sites are going to be surrounded by a lot of food sources. So there's going to be a ton of berries on one of them, and a boar, and on the other one there's going to be a lot of these small deer like groups of deer, and another boar on that side as well. Also, a lot of these smaller woodlines on that map side as well. Overall, just a very, very balanced map. I really enjoy seeing this one.
Yeah, it's been one of those that as it continues to develop, you really do start to see some of these vital strategies, some of these vital kind of timing points, such as I remember, dropping a keep on those 24,000 gold resources in the middle can just secure you the game, even if you are at an economic deficit at times. So it's kind of one of these maps that it's really cool how it can be played out, so many different strategies, and we haven't even yet to see how some of those will continue to develop.
Yeah, now I do hope that DeMu isn't going for that second TC kind of play. I do hope that it's going to be that fast castle. Now, second TC is still going to be an option. You can definitely play that with HRE. But personally, I just hope that he goes for a little bit more of a risk here against Puppypaw. Obviously, Puppypaw, he is the one leading the set right now. I think DeMu should probably try, and even if it's like one of the decider games, here, take a little bit of a risk and just go for that position that could potentially snowball him in this game with the relics and map control in this one. Now, both players are going to be aging up. No surprise, we're going to be seeing the Archon Chapel here for the HRE and the Council Hall for the English. Council being made only with 3 villagers, so potential there that we might be seeing a second TC play from Puppypaw.
Yeah, this is one of those, we can already see where DeMu is dropping the chapel. It's nice on his gold, on his wood and food. Doesn't have the stone or berries, not a big deal for him. But Puppypaw really saving a lot of wood going onto those deer early. He's not going to have any farms that he's going to have to drop. He's not going to have any, you know, extra resources that he's having to expend on food early on because he has those sheep at home as well. So really can put the pressure on HRE if that is what he intends to do.
And DeMu sending a lot of villagers out to wood, so this might mean that it is going to be a second TC kind of play from him. Now, Puppypaw did put another villager on the council hall, so this could also be aggression from him here in this game. With the additional wood that DeMu is gathering here, though, it leads him, it gives him the opportunity to also react to that early aggression with production buildings. Now we do see the barracks coming out, so this is going to be a very, very aggressive push here from Puppypaw against DeMu.
Yeah, and I really kind of like this against HRE. I feel like at times they play a little too greedy, and when these players use those longbows just in just excellent micro, they'll like park their scout on one side and start sniping over the wood lines or denying the gold just by a little bit of range, causing a little bit of extra idle time. It really hurts the HRE player when they go for this greedier build.
Yeah, now Puppypaw is sending these longbows across the map. Do hope that DeMu is prepping at least horsemen. Yeah, and there it is. He does have the stable. He is making some horsemen. Is going to have to opt also into some archers here if he wants to compete against the longbows, because with the spearmen and as well, just horsemen aren't going to cut it.
No, not at all. And Puppypaw, he's starting to, yeah, there's still a lot of deer left, but they have served their purpose so far, which was that early game vault up of food income. He can easily pull back from those and say, hey, yeah, it's a win still. There's only a few left, and retake those once he retakes the control, or just send a few spears out for the time being, finish up the deer, and then go on home to sheep.
Yeah. Now, DeMu, he does have his horsemen coming out, but Puppypaw already has 2 spearmen out on the map, 2 longbows more to come. And Puppypaw is just going to build up his infantry mass right now. Currently, he's just having them patrol around his deer spot. That's the only real resource right now that's a little bit exposed for him. So overall, just sitting nice and dandy here right now. Some horsemen going towards the direction of the deer. Still wondering what DeMu is going for. Now we see villagers moving out towards the stone mine, so it looks like now he wants to go for that second TC timing.
Yeah, wheelbarrow into that secondary TC. Puppypaw starting to move forward as well, right as those horsemen start to circle. So let's see, an archery range drop for DeMu. Rare seen by HRE, but needed at times.
This could be a crucial timing now, though, for Puppypaw. DeMu didn't see the units moving forward, and now the horsemen are coming in. Could be either a really good timing for him or a really bad one if Puppypaw doesn't decide to pull back. Horsemen are taking some really good fights here. Do take one villager down. Second villager probably going down here as well. Ooh. Could also try to take the spearman down with 2 horsemen. Decides against it, though, is falling back now. And behind all of this now, Puppypaw is going to be... Yeah, he's right at the base of DeMu right now, and DeMu didn't manage to gather enough stone for his second TC.
Yeah, did get a couple Vil picks, though, which is really huge, especially considering DeMu's Vils are working harder under that chapel with all that inspiration bonus. But he's got to be worried having 4 total military out. These longbows already starting to position themselves and circle around to deny these vital resources.
Yeah, now DeMu has a lot of resources in the bank that he's just not going to be able to use. He has a lot of wood, he has a lot of stone. He's going to be queuing up some more archers right now, some more horsemen. But the army count from Puppypaw right now is just way ahead now. DeMu did manage to get a good amount of villager kills here. 2 villager kills so far early on the deer. Cost a lot of idle time for Puppypaw. He is going into farms now, so he's going to be fine on the food front. But overall, good amount of delay there. Now another archer range coming in for DeMu. I like this play. He needs to get some more mass out on the field. And with that, should be able to push Puppypaw just back enough in order to secure the stone that he needs for his second TC.
Yeah, and he has this inspiration that is on his wood line as well. So it's almost like, you know, the Roos with their Kremlin and double broadaxe, whereas it's DeMu with, you know, his chapel on the wood line. As we say that, he pulls off the wood line, though, goes heavy back to gold. Looks like he's trying to change macro up to castle.
Yeah, could definitely be the case here for him, but with so many resources... Oh, no. again. Okay, switches it up again. I mean, your opponent can't know what you're doing if you don't even know what you're doing, right?
You know, you couldn't have said it any other way. God, DeMu going heavy back onto the wood line. I guess he is planning on going archers, or maybe it was just a misclick earlier on.
Yeah, such things do happen sometimes, but now we go. He has a lot of villagers once again in the inspiration, gathering a lot of wood, and now his army is actually looking really good. He does have enough archers here to take the fight. Puppypaw behind this could potentially look into macroing towards Castle Age, and he does have a lot of villagers on gold. So I think at this point in time, I really don't want to see that that second TC anymore from DeMu, at least not in the feudal age. I think he shouldn't go for it in the feudal age. Earliest he should be going for it is in the Castle Age, because the relics are just so important. So far, we've never seen HRE getting more than one relic today when they play with that Ragnads. And yeah, this is getting rough. The timing is getting closer and closer now. Puppypaw looking for that Castle Age, and DeMu's still really far away. He seems to be moving out to the deer spot now. Could secure that with an outpost, and maybe that's going to enable him to go up to the next age. Now he's getting some blacksmith upgrades.
Yeah, it looks like he actually is transitioning this to be more aggressive and feudal. He's the one continuing to produce horsemen archers here and not going heavier onto that gold. As you just said, he's spending that gold onto blacksmith upgrades. But is English the civilization to focus? Is English the civilization to do this against?
It depends. Like, he's probably not going to be able to get like a really big push going right now, but the delay also just isn't there, because Puppypaw is at that crucial balance where he doesn't need to add in any more units right now. And I think DeMu might have actually overinvested a little bit too much here. He is in a fine position right now when it comes to his army. He's going to invest a little bit more into it, but I feel like as soon as that age up is going to come in, there aren't really any big spots that DeMu can hit, mainly because there are so many spearmen out there for Puppypaw right now. So diving in with the horseman is going to be very unlikely.
Yeah, and there's the King's Palace being dropped. 14 villagers on top of it next to the gold vein. But the key here and now is if DeMu forces a fight here when this King's Palace is being dropped, Longbow's just going to continue to try to kite this away, kite this under to the network of castles bonus. Spears step up, get some town center fire, get some town center help as well, and the archers just trying to step up and fire down to take down the spears. King's Palace is getting circled, is starting to get focused. Puppypaw will lose some vills for this, but DeMu will lose his military for this.
Yeah, the entire military for DeMu going down now. I mean, villager kills are really nice here for him. Manages to take down more villagers now. Overall, 7 villagers have gone down. So DeMu with a 7 villager lead currently, looking good in the villager department. But as he said, he did trade out his entire army for it. And he was still heavy on wood behind this as he was going for his own kind of farm transition right now. Archers only being chased right now by some spearmen and a scout.
Yeah, not the units you want to be chasing, the the archers on the other side, as the spears should get countered out and potentially just kited on away, and that is making this fight look a little bit better for DeMu.
DeMu isn't remassing units now behind this. Now the question is he going to be able to get up to the next age without too much harassment now from the longbows? The longbows are going to be upgraded here really soon. The upgrade from the council hall is being researched twice as fast. Is there an outpost on that? There's no outpost on the deer.
This is so devastating. This is a lot of that crucial food income. I love how Puppy's even waiting till he gets a couple of those longbows a little closer. DeMu reacting, dropping off the deer, trying to run on away. More of the longbows step on up, and that will be another vill or two going down.
Yeah, lots of villagers going down, 3 in total. So not the worst overall. It could have definitely been more if he just waited a little bit with the first attack. And now we're seeing a Burgrave Palace. I like this play in theory, just because the cast stage is already a little bit late, and right now he does need a lot of units really quickly. Issue is he was just forced away from his deer spot, so his food income is going to be not that great for now. Question is he going to be able to hold on for now?
Oh, just need the scout position where you can start hitting this wood line. Not quite there yet, but looks like he was about to run on through. Villagers all pulled away proactively, but again, wood being denied for DeMu, majority of food being denied as far as the good and better valued resource food other than the farms around the chapel. And Puppypaw could potentially go ahead and start securing relics if he decided to behind this.
Yeah, and he is doing so. Has his monastery, has his first monk in production. He is making knights now behind this. And for an early part of the game here now in Castle Age, the men-at-arms aren't going to be able to do too well. Oh, the lone wolves are dying.
This is devastating. 4, 5 vills going down throughout all this, and all of that food that we just talked about being denied is being denied yet again. Gold vills trying to run, but they have nowhere to run. Hitting garrison means they run towards the TC, and Puppypaw just going to continue to step up through this, and he's going to step up towards the wood line too.
So many villagers have gone down now. It's 45 to 34, and behind this, Puppypaw with the H3 landmark, he's got a second TC. More villagers going down. Another one.
When's GG? When is GG coming through? There's no way. Pure devastation. These longbows. This is just, you cannot let these longbows do anything in your base. You have to react to them, and now we can just see how devastating they can be, continuing to kite away, continuing to get Vill picks before they die. One more? Oh,
another villager
more.
goes down. Oh no, 18 villagers have gone down now. DeMu sitting at 30 villagers compared to 48 from Puppypaw, and climbing the income right now absolutely at the bottom, and DeMu knows. He knows, and he calls it, and this is a 2-0 right now. Puppypaw winning with a 2-0 against a Muslim. This was really, really close. I mean, at one point, there was like a timing for DeMu where he looked really good, and he had a lot of these horsemen that went onto that landmark there from Puppypaw. We see the villager graph. There was this timing there where Puppypaw took a lot of villager losses then. But in the end, as soon as it got to Castle Age, DeMu just didn't have the resources to make the units, and this was really rough. I mean, I really liked the play from him there to go for the Castle Age. The issue was just at the beginning, he did go for that second TC, and these resources didn't help him a lot straight away. I did really like that he did go for that Castle Age play, but it came in a little bit too late then, and Puppypaw just took the lead and managed to win out that game then.
Yeah, you also see that Castle Age timing play from Puppy with the military. We said it during the fight. We were like, yeah, he picked up a ton of vills there, but now no military. He lost so much for that, and Puppypaw was able to transition those 12 or so longbows that he kept from that fight into the game and into the last victory that he needed to secure the series.